This is Shelley Kraft coming to you live on SNNLive. We're at the Marcum MicroCap Conference 2015 here in New York City. With me is John Lai, PetVivo Holdings, Inc. It's a publicly traded company, and the symbol is PETV. John, welcome back to SNNLive.
Shelley, it's always a pleasure to see you, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to give you a quick update on PetVivo.
I'm glad to get it. Let's tell our audience first a brief overview on the company, and then we'll drill down.
Well, PetVivo's primarily focus on treating animals with osteoarthritis, specifically horses and dogs, and then eventually will roll into humans probably in year 3.
It's a giant market. What are you doing that's different from everyone else in the market?
Pretty much everybody else is making a new formulary drug, an NSAID, an anti-inflammatory, to bring down the inflammation. We believe we have a treatment that actually fixes the problem. We inject right into the joint, the synovial joint, and it creates cushion and lubrication where it allows the animal body to repair itself, to rebuild cartilage.
So I've recently seen you. We've interviewed you. Tell me what's gone on in the last quarter, at least, maybe the last half year.
Yeah. Well, we're pretty excited. We finally closed on the acquisition of Gel Technologies. It's the side that has like 35 patents and 17 products in the pipeline. But on top of that, now we have identified a majority of the 5 regional sales reps that I wanted to bring in to help support our distributor base. Plus, we are focused on manufacturing now, identifying key manufacturers that will fulfill the syringes. We will always make the particles, ship them to the fulfillment company, and then they'll fill a standard 2 or 4 milliliter syringe.
Is there anything special or unusual about these syringes that required special manufacturing?
No, actually, the good thing is these companies already manufacture for large pharmaceutical companies. They can make million syringes and not be an issue. It's all ISO compliant, FDA compliant, so we're very comfortable with the ongoing negotiations and nearing completion of getting an engagement put together with them.
So let me ask you a question. Is that the last piece of the puzzle, or what's after that?
Well, that's the last piece of getting product ready to go to market, but there's a lot more to do in the various other products we have coming down the line, especially on the human side as we get closer to looking for licensed partnerships with big pharma and device companies.
So let me ask you a question that our audience may ask. I'm going to ask it. Do you need some FDA approval for drugs for animals, or is it, just basically the same as testing on animals for humans? You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. Actually, we're quite unique in the sense that in 2008, we received a letter from the human side of the FDA stating that our protein matrix is a device. And hence, on the human side, we only have to complete phase 2 of the human clinicals. Then it goes into PMA. So it's probably 1/10 to 1/20th of a company that was doing a clinical with biologics. So for us on the animal side, we're already cleared to be able to sell the product to the vets for commercial application.
And in some cases, when it's a unique disease, sometimes they, or it could be epidemic in some cases. I know that the FDA says if it's good for animals, it's good for humans, right?
Yes, but actually our products has been in humans for 7 years, over 7 years, so we feel very comfortable. We won't have much issues of getting it through the process, but you still have to spend the money, you still have to spend the time, so that's why we stay focused on the animal side for the first 2 to almost 3 years before we launch the human side.
That makes sense. So you'll have to do clinical trials on the human side?
Actually, it's just PMAs. So that's just the proof of manufacturing. And that usually takes between 2 and 3 years. And it's significantly cheaper. Well, that's on our first product for dermal filling. The other products will require some FDA work, phase 2, phase 1, phase 2, but it's not overbearing like you see with the other big pharmas where they spend $500 million to find out if they're going to clear a product through FDA. We have a pretty good idea because it's been in humans for 7 to 8 years, we have no toxicity issue. And that's the biggest thing at the FDA. Then you got to establish efficacy. We have plenty of data to believe that we will be able to establish improvement in efficacy.
This veterinary market, this animal market is so big. It's growing so fast. I mean, let's get an idea of how large it is.
Sure. In 1994, veterinary or pet products were about 14.5 billion. Today, it's at 59 billion. And the last 5 years, the biggest driver was the veterinary growth of the marketplace. Vet products are probably around 14 billion now and expected to grow at least at 6% a year, which is significant. It's also recession-proof.
So, if you had to look into your crystal ball, where do you see the company at the end of 2016?
We'll have at least 3 products out, if not 4 to 5. Which actually we would have more products out than any of our competitors that are publicly traded that I can find information on. So we feel we have positioned ourselves to really enhance our shareholder value as we move forward in a very tangible way.
Now, for more information, what website would you like to give out?
www.petvivo.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, John Lai, PetVivo Holdings, Inc. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is PETV. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive. We're coming to you live from the Marcum MicroCap Conference 2015 right here in New York City. John?
It's a real pleasure, Shelley. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks.